Oh, welcome back. We are on day 48, and we're going to read numbers 19, 20, 21, and 22. Okay. So seems like it'd be a little shorter. So let's get started. So, Numbers chapter 19, this is the law of purification. Number 20 is Moses' error at Kadesh. Passage through Edom refused. 21, Canaanites defeated at Hormah. The bronze serpent, and from Mount Or to Moab. Oh, goodness. Oof. We're also going to read about Balaam, the donkey, and the angel. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. So, let's get started. Numbers chapter 19. Now the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, This is the ordinance of the law which the Lord has commanded, saying, Speak to the children of Israel that they bring you a red heifer without blemish, in which there is no defect, and on which a yoke has never come. Guys, we were just talking about the red heifer in modern day, that they were trying to find it, and apparently it was disqualified because it had two black hairs. That was earlier this year in the summer that they were trying to do in Israel. So I don't know what that means, but they were trying to basically mimic this. Okay, so verse 3. You shall give it to Eleazar the priest, that he may take it outside the camp, and it shall be slaughtered before him. And Eleazar the priest shall take some of its blood with its fingers, and sprinkle some of the blood 7 times directly in front of the tabernacle of meeting. Then the heifer shall be burned in his sight, its hide, its flesh, its blood, and its offal shall be burned. And the priest shall take cedar wood, and hyssop and scarlet, and cast them into the midst of the fire burning the heifer. Then the priest shall wash his clothes, he shall bathe in water, and afterward he shall come up to the camp, and the priest shall be unclean until evening. And the one who burns it shall wash his clothes in water, bathe in water, and shall be unclean until the evening. So even the person washing it is also unclean. What? Then a man who is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer and store them outside the camp in a clean place, and they shall be kept for the congregation of the children of Israel. For the water of purification, it is for purifying from sin. And the one who gathers ashes of the heifer shall wash his clothes and be unclean until evening. It shall be a statute forever that the children of Israel, to the stranger who dwells among them, he who touches the dead body of anyone shall be unclean for 7 days. He shall purify himself with the water on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, then he will be clean. But if he does not purify himself on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, he will not be clean. Whoever touches the body of anyone who has died and does not purify himself defiles the tabernacle of God. That person shall be cut off from Israel, and he shall be unclean, because of the water of purification was not sprinkled on him. His uncleanliness is still on him. This is the law when a man dies in a tent. All womb in that tent and all who are in the tent shall be unclean for 7 days. And every open vessel which has no cover fastened on it is unclean. Whoever is in the open field touches one who is slain by a sword, or who has died, or if a bone of a man, or a grave, shall be unclean for 7 days. And an unclean person who shall take some of the ashes of the heifer burnt for purification from sin, and running water shall be put on them in a vessel. A clean person shall take hyssop and dip it in the water, sprinkle it on a tent, on all the vessels, on all the persons who were there, or on the one who touched a bone, the slain, the dead, or a grave. The clean person shall sprinkle the unclean on the 3rd day and on the 7th day, and on the 7th day he shall purify himself, wash his clothes, and bathe in water, and the evening he shall be clean. But the man who is unclean and does not purify himself, that person shall be cut off from among the assembly, because he has defiled the sanctuary of the Lord. The water of purification has not been sprinkled on him. He is unclean. And it shall be a perpetual statute for him. He who sprinkles the water of purification shall wash his clothes, and he who touches the water of purification shall be unclean until evening. Whatever the unclean person touches shall be unclean, and the person who touches it shall be unclean until evening. Very interesting. All right. Numbers chapter 20. Moses' error at Kadesh. Then the children of Israel, the whole congregation, came into the wilderness of Zin in the first month, and the people stayed in Kadesh, and Miriam died there and was buried there. Now there was no water in the congregation, so they gathered together against Moses and Aaron, and the people contended with Moses and spoke, "If only we had died when our brethren died before the Lord." Why are they always wanting to die? Like they're just like, you know what? Screw this. What are we doing? Why have you brought up the assembly of the Lord into this wilderness, that we and our animals should die here? And why have you made us come up out of Egypt to bring us to this evil place? It is not a place of grain or figs or wines or pomegranates, nor is there any water to drink. So Moses and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly to the door of the tabernacle meeting, and they fell on their faces, and the glory of the Lord appeared to them. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Take the rod, you and your brother Aaron, gather the congregation together, speak to the rock before their eyes, and it will yield its water. Thus you shall bring water for them out of the rock, and give them to drink to the congregation and their animals." Wow. So Moses took the rod before the Lord, as he commanded him. And Moses and Aaron gathered the assembly together before the rock, and he said to them, "Hear now, you rebels. Must we bring water for you to drink on this rock?" So Moses was a little frustrated. Then Moses lifted his hand and struck the rock twice with his rod, and water came out abundantly, and the congregation and their animals drank. Then the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, "Because you did not believe me, to hallow me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore you shall not bring this assembly into the land which I have given them." This was the water of Meribah, because of the children of Israel contended with the Lord, and he was hallowed among them. The Lord was not happy that Moses struck the rock, because Moses did not command him to strike the rock. The Lord actually told Moses to speak to the rock, because God only speaks to things and it comes to existence. He doesn't have to hit it. Ugh. Verse 14. Now Moses sent messengers from Kadesh to the king of Edom. "Thus says your brother Israel, you know all the hardship that has befallen us, how our fathers went down to Egypt, and we dwelt in Egypt a long time, and the Egyptians afflicted us and our fathers. When we cried out to the Lord, he heard our voice and sent the angel and brought us out of Egypt. Now here we are in Kadesh, a city on the edge of your border. Please let us pass through your country. We will not pass through fields or vineyards, nor we will drink the water from the wells. We will just go along the king's highway, and we will not turn aside to the right hand or the left until we have passed your territory." Then Edom said to them, "You shall not pass through my land, lest I come out against you with a sword." So the children of Israel said to him, "We will go by the highway, and if I or my livestock drink any of the water, then I will pay for it. So let me just pass through on foot, nothing more." And then he said, "You shall not pass through." So Edom came against them, and many men with a strong hand. Thus Edom refused to give Israelites a passage through his territory, so Israel turned away from him. Where's the favor, honey? Where's the favor? Verse 22. Now the children of Israel, the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came to Mount Hor. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor by the border of the land of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered to his people, for he shall not enter the land which I have given to the children of Israel, because you rebelled against my word and at the water of Meribah. Take Aaron and Eleazar his son, and bring them to Mount Hor, and strip Aaron of his garments, and put them on Eleazar his son, for Aaron shall be gathered to his people and die there. So Moses did just as the Lord commanded, and they went up to Mount Hor in the sight of the congregation. Moses stripped Aaron of his garments and put them on Eleazar his son, and Aaron died there on the top of the mountain. Okay. Then Moses and Eleazar came down from the mountain. Now, when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, and the house of Israel mourned for Aaron for 30 days. Numbers chapter 21. The Canaanites defeated at Hormah. The king of Arad, the Canaanite who dwelt in the south, heard that Israel was coming on against the road in Athraim. Then he fought against Israel and took some of them prisoner. So Israel made a vow to the Lord and said, "If you will indeed deliver this people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities." Okay. And the Lord listened to the voice of Israel and delivered up the Canaanites, and they were utterly destroyed them in their cities. So the name of that place was called Hormah. Verse 4, the bronze serpent. Then they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to go around the land of Edom, and the soul of the people who became very discouraged along the way. And the people spoke against God and Moses, "Why have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in this wilderness? For there's no food, there's no water, and our soul loathes this worthless bread." So the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and many of the people of Israel died. Y'all, complaining to God does not work. What? He's like, anyways, did you guys know that I can send serpents? Therefore the people came to Moses and said, "We have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against you. Pray to the Lord that he may take these serpents from us." So Moses prayed for the people. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Make a fiery serpent and set it on a pole, and it shall be that everyone who is bitten, when he looks at it, shall live." So Moses made a bronze serpent, put it on a pole, and so it was. If a serpent had bitten anyone, when he looked at the bronze serpent, he lived. Where do you think we got our hospital figurine, that pole with the snake around it? That's where they get it from. That's where they got it from. We look at that. They're trying to be like modern day medicine, obviously. We look at that and then we get healed. Verse 10. Now the children of Israel moved on and camped in Oboth. And they journeyed from Oboth and camped in Ijah Ibrahim in the wilderness which is east of Moab toward the sunrise. For there they moved and camped in the valley of Zered. From there they moved and camped on the other side of Arnon, which is in the wilderness that extends from the border of the Amorites. For the Arnon is the border of Moab, between Moab and Amorites. Therefore it is said in the book of wars of the Lord. I need to look up what the book of wars are. Waheb and Surpra, the brooks of Arnon, and the slopes of the brooks, that reaches to the dwelling of Ar, and lies in the border of Moab. From there they went to Beer, which is the well which the Lord said to Moses, "Gather the people together, and I will give them water." Then Israel sang this song, "Spring up, O well, all you sing to it. The well the leaders sank, dug by the nation's nobles, by the lawgiver with their staves." I'm going to have to look that up. And from the wilderness they went to Mattanah, from Mattanah to Nahaliel, from Nahaliel to Bomath, and from Bomath, Bamoth, in the valley which is in the country of Moab, to the top of the Pisgah, which looks like down into the wasteland. Verse 21, King Sihon is defeated. Then Israel sent messengers to Sihon the king and the Amorites, saying, "Let me pass through your land. We will not turn aside into the fields or vineyards. We will not drink water from wells. We will go by the king's highway until we have passed through your territory." But Sihon would not allow Israel to pass through his territory. So Sihon gathered all the people together and went out against Israel into the wilderness, and he came to Jahaz and fought against Israel. Interesting. So instead of letting them pass through, they actually went out to go look for them. King Sihon wanted the smoke. Um, well, if he wants smoke, he's gonna get it. Then Israel defeated him with the edge of the sword and took possession of his land and from the Arnon to the Jabbok, as far as the people of Ammon, for the border of the people of Ammon was fortified. So Israel took all these cities, and Israel dwelt in all the cities of the Amorites, in Heshbon and all its villages. For Heshbon was the city of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab, and had taken all the land from his hand as far as Arnon. Therefore, those who speak in Proverbs say, "Come to Heshbon, let it be built, let the city of Sihon be repaired. For fire went out from Heshbon, a flame from the city of Sihon, it consumed Ar of Moab. The lords of the heights of Arnon, woe to you, Moab! You have perished, O people of Shemosh. He has given his sons as fugitives and his daughters into captivity to Sihon, king of the Amorites. But we have shot at them. Heshbon has perished as far as Dibon. Then we laid waste as far as Nopah, which reaches to Medaba." These names. Verse 31. Thus Israel dwelt in the land of the Amorites. Then Moses sent out a spy to Jazer, and they took its villages and drove out the Amorites who were there. Verse 33. And they turned and went out by the way to Bashan. So Og, king of Bashan, went out against them, he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Do not fear him, for I have delivered him into your hand with all his people and his land, and you shall do to him as you did to Sihon, the king of Amorites, who dwelt at Heshbon." So they defeated him, his sons, and all his people, and there was no survivor left him, and they took possession of the land. They're always just fighting over land. So, sorry, I'm going to fix this. Okay. Last chapter for today. Numbers chapter 22. Then the children of Israel moved and camped in the plains of Moab and in the side of the Jordan across from Jericho. Now Balak, the son of Zippor, saw all that Israel has done to the Amorites, and Moab was exceedingly afraid of the people because they were many, and Moab was sick with dread because of the children of Israel. So Moab said to the elders of Midian, "Now this company will lick up everything around us as an ox licks up the grass of the field." And Balak, the son of Zippor, was king of the Moabites at the time. Then he sent messengers to Balaam, the son of Beor, and Pethor, which is near the river in the land of the sons of his people, to call him, saying, "Look at the people who have come from Egypt. See, they cover their face of the earth and are settling next to me. Therefore, please come at once, curse this people for me, for they are too mighty for me. Perhaps I shall be able to defeat them and drive them out of the land. For I know that he who you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse is cursed." Interesting. So, who was he talking to? Therefore, please come at once. Then he sent messengers to Balaam, which is near the river in the land of the sons, to call him, saying, interesting. So the elders of Moab, so I think he was talking to the elders. So Moab said to the elders of Midian, "Now this company," and Balak the son was the king of the Moabites. Then he sent messengers to Balaam the son of Beor and Pethor, which is near the river in the land, to call, look, a people has come from Egypt. See, they cover their face of the earth and are settling next to me. Therefore, please come at once, curse this people, for they are too mighty. I'm going to find out who he's talking to. So the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the diviner's fee in their hand, and they came to Balaam and spoke to him in the words of Balak. And he said to them, Lodge here tonight, and I will bring back to you as the Lord speaks to me. So the princes of Moab stayed with Balaam. Then God came to Balaam and said, Who are these men with you? So Balaam said to God, Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent to me, saying, Look at the people who has come to Egypt, and they cover their face. Come now, curse them for me. Perhaps I'll be able to overpower them and drive them out. And God said to Balaam, You shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed. So Balaam rose in the morning and said to the princes of Balak, Go back to your land, for the Lord has refused to give me permission to go with you. And the princes of Moab rose and went to Balak, and said, Balaam refuses to come with us. Then Balak again sent princes, more numerous, more honorable than they. And they came to Balaam and said, Thus saith Balak, the son of Zippor, Please let nothing hinder you from coming to me. For I will certainly honor you greatly, and I will do whatever you say to me. Therefore, please come, curse this people for me. Then Balaam answered and said to the servants of Balak, Though Balak you were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the word of the Lord my God to do less or more. Now therefore, please, you shall also stay here tonight, that I may know what more the Lord will say to me. And God came to Balaam at night and said to him, If the men come to call you, rise and go with them, but only the word which I speak to you that you shall do. So Balaam rose in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went to the princes of Moab. Verse 22. Then God's anger was aroused because he went, and the angel of the Lord took his stand in the way of the adversary against him, and he was riding on his donkey, and his 2 servants were with him. So basically, Balaam wasn't supposed to get up and go because God didn't say anything. Now the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand, and the donkey turned aside out of the way and went into the field. So Balaam struck the donkey to turn her back into the road. Now the donkey saw the angel and he drew the sword. Oh, geez. So Balaam struck the donkey. Then the angel of the Lord stood in the narrow path between the vineyards with a wall on this side and a wall on that side. And when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she pushed herself against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. So he struck her again. Then the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she laid down under Balaam. So Balaam's anger was aroused, and he struck the donkey with his staff. Then the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, What have I done to you, and why you have struck me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the donkey, Because you have abused me. I wish there were a sword in my hand, for now I would kill you. So the donkey said to Balaam, Am I not your donkey on which you have ridden ever since I became yours to this day? Was I ever disposed to do this to you? And he said, No. Then the Lord opened up Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his drawn sword in his hand. And he bowed, and his hand fell flat on his face. And the angel of the Lord said to him, Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I have come out to stand against you, because your way is perverse before me. The donkey saw me and turned aside from me these 3 times. If she had not turned aside from me, surely I would have killed you by now and let her live. And Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, I have sinned, for I did not know you stood in the way against me. Now therefore this displeases you, I will turn back. Then the angel of the Lord said to Balaam, Go with the men, but only the word that I speak to you that you shall speak. So Balaam went to the princes of Balak. And when Balak heard that Balaam was coming, he went out to meet him in the city of Moab, which is the border of Aaron and the boundary of the territory. Then Balak said to Balaam, Did I not earnestly send to you, calling for you? Why did you not come to me? Am I not able to honor you? And Balaam said to Balak, "Look, I have come to you. Now have I any power at all to say anything? The word that God puts in my mouth, that I must speak." So Balaam went to Balak, and they came to Kirjath Huzoth. Then Balak offered oxen and sheep and went into Balaam and the princes who were with them. So it was the next day that Balak took Balaam and brought him out of the high places of Baal, that from there he might observe the extent of the people. And that's the end of chapter 22. We will continue with chapter 23, 24, 25, and 26 on the next one. Thank you.